Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee. Only 3 minutes past 10 today. What a absolutely early time it is. It's not quarter past. If you've not been here before, I'm normally a bit late, but only a little bit today. And it's a little casual catch up of what's been happening this week at Bad Squiddo. And it's been a little bit more than sleeping, although there's been a lot of sleeping. So how are you all doing? Just a little look at the chat. Some very fancy coffee action from Nick going on there that I'm quite jealous of. I'll do an early mug reveal. Oh no, I'm a bit. I've got out of bed. My appearance over the course of Sunday morning coffee just decreases. I used to be like, oh, better look nice. I'm on camera. Now I'm just going to climb out of bed at 5 to 10 and go. We'll have to deal with it. Um, we've got the guinea pig mug, which was a present from one of my brothers. Look at that. Look, they're very smart. The little hats on. Oh, just as Gary's there. There you go, Gary. Look, good mug reveal. So I have no notes always. God, yeah. I always do this on the show because the first time I've seen myself all day, I've gone, oh Lord. So I've got some painted minis to show you. They're not finished, but I've been painting. I've got a really depressing book to show you. Stories of mostly sleeping. What will be happening next week? And yeah, just a bit of chill, really. I did use last minute. I used Lee from Forge of Mars as clickbait, so I don't know if he'll come over as well. Having seen his own face, he might be like, "Ooh." But last night, just as I was heading to bed, I saw it had a message from Lee mentioning his stream, so I went on over to there, and he was painting Turkey Man. Um, I've been trying to lower the Turkey Man content on Bad Squiddo at the moment, in case people forget that I actually specialise in women from history. And people going, this is not what I followed it for. But I did put a Turkey Man picture up earlier, but it does have Lee in it as well, so it kind of it cancels each other out, I reckon. Um, but yeah, he was painting Turkey Man, so I ended up joining in the chat on that. It was very fun last night. Lee got broke, I think, at one point. Someone suggested that Turkey Man's butt basically follows you around the room. It was very fun. I always like when there's some new people and then some familiar faces where I was like, yes. Yes, Andrea says, what's that? Turkey Man store also does women? This is what's happening. But it's fine, probably. Sold more Turkey Man than quite a lot of my female figures. He's like, well, a lot of them. He's like one of my best sellers, which is I don't know what to make of that. Um, Katie says maybe Turkey Woman should be next in the commission queue. She's actually been made. She's been sculpted by Tara of Mangling Minis, and we had a short meeting about her at Expo actually. So there, but she's having a few changes. She's getting a nose elongation, but there will be a Turkey woman. I don't know if it will be his partner though, because they're the two Turkey women out there. People try and put them together. But it doesn't mean they have to be together. They can just be friends, or they don't even need to be friends. It just so happens that the two turkey creatures. I was pondering last night about how Turkey Man's got a belly button, which is interesting, because we don't know the exact origins of him. So does that mean that he was gestated, or is he created from? Is that the part of the human, either in the genetic modification, is it created just a belly button because that's what happens? Or is it a Frankenstein situation where the bit of the belly that he's got from a deceased person did have a belly button? Does he produce belly button fluff? That's the big question we need to know at 10 o'clock on a Sunday here. Congratulations, Captain Hat, on the ADHD meds. Though this doesn't give me much faith. So does that mean that you are prescribed them and you just haven't been able to get them for months? Because that's quite grim. There are paintings of Adam and Eve with belly buttons. This is true. A connection. I've never seen Adam and Eve in the same room as Turkey Man. Was he on the ark? So many questions. So some exciting news is next week I'm on holiday. I don't know what I'm so excited that I'm in the pre-holiday mood. I'm away from Wednesday till the end of the week. Um, I always get nervous because I have to announce when I'm not here because of work. But everywhere I'm leaving is fully guarded, so it's fine. And Andy's here. You'll have to get through Andy. So I'll be away. I'm attempting some sort of off-grid, not off-grid totally, but I'm going to try very hard to not check in on any work stuff. I'm going to set up a load of scheduled posts, and just have a proper getting away from it all. I like a mixture because, to be fair, a lot of my trips, I like just being able just to check in on a few bits, so that when I come back, it's not overwhelming. But I think I got so exhausted, as anyone who saw me at Expo, that brain, that I. Sorry, my brain's just gone there. It's because I was thinking about this conversation about its precious ADHD meds. There. Yeah, I did. I entirely forgot what I was saying. What a good combo. We've got Jill there and Robert. Um, so I'm on holiday next week, but I'll be in work Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, sometimes when I'm away, I like to keep a check on things, and very rarely I just want to entirely disappear. There's probably a chance I'll end up doing a bit of work, but fun work while I'm away. But what I will not be doing is monitoring comment. Oh no, this is also a bad omen. I'll not be monitoring comment sections or anything that's work. If I do, it'll be looking up, like researching and stuff, because that's what I really like doing anyway. So I'll be away. I'll tell you all about it when I'm back and where I've gone and all that. Obviously not telling you now. Where could you be going? Anywhere in the world. Um, I was about to give you a clue there. I'm giving you a clue. I'm disappearing to somewhere in the world. It's in the UK. I'm not got that much money. It's somewhere. It's a very cheap getaway that I've managed to get all my like business points and whatever. Um, so yeah, I'm going away and I'm so excited. I'm getting everything all planned for it. Even bought a swimming costume. What? Just in, and he's going to Antarctica. Yes. And it's got lots of history. There's going to be a lot of history involved, but not history that I'm currently researching for work. History for fun. So yeah, this it's going to be really fun, and I'm excited, and I'm just going to just try and switch my brain off for a few days, which would be lovely. So that means anything you want to order or get done has to be done by Tuesday, end of Tuesday. So if you want an order, go on, go on, give me some holiday spending money. Chuck an order in. They'll be able to get it shipped on, yeah, up till 3 o'clock on Tuesday, basically. Then I'll be gone. But then I'll be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday. That's just reminded me. I think Ross is supposed to be coming tomorrow. I don't know if he still is. I'm going to message him, unless he's in the chat. Hey, Ross, are you coming over tomorrow? That's reminded me. Also, so last week, this is mostly going to anyone who's just turned up. It's been a bit of a rambly episode. Of just what Annie's been up to this week, because it's been a lot of coming down from Expo. There's not a huge amount of quality bad Squiddo content as a heads up this time. Although it is, because I am it and it is I. So yes, I'll be in the next few days. What's happened this week is I've been asleep. I've never been so exhausted in my entire life. If you watched last week's or saw me at Expo, you'll know I had a whole series of mental and physical issues during Expo. Luckily, my other people, including Katie in the chat there, were awesome. And it all, for Bad Squiddo, went really well. But it was a massive, like, Annie, you're not well, you need to take a break sort of reminder, which is I'd already known that was coming and booked this holiday, so that's why it's extra like, yeah. And I'm very glad that it wasn't immediately after Expo, because I just would have slept. And I want to get a lot of the little loose ends and things all sorted before I go, so I'm not worrying about things, or less things to worry about. So so yeah, I was done for basically at Expo, so I'm very pleased to be getting a little breakaway. What was I? That was tied to something I was going to say. Oh yeah, so this week, right, I had Monday off, because I thought, right, Monday off, then I'll do my loose ends in the week. I slept pretty much until Wednesday. From Sunday night, I got up a few times because I had to give my guinea pigs medication, and occasionally Andy would message and say there was evidence that the toaster was in use. So I kind of got up, very sleepily gave drugs to guinea pigs, had a little bit of toast, and then went back to sleep. It was because I kept thinking, oh no, I've overslept. This is going to be awful. It means I won't sleep during the and then wake up like some weird time. I genuinely lost track of what day it was. So weird. But I did go into the office on Thursday. So most of the orders have gone out now on Thursday. They've been waiting. There's a couple where I needed stuff to pick, but I've got the things in the garage. Yes. So kind of been sorting this out, which is nice. What else is going on? A nice little chat with North Star because I popped in and saw them on Friday. So yeah, in terms of what's happened in Bad Squiddo this week, sleep, mostly just sleep, very much needed sleep. But when I have been in on Thursday and Friday, I got loads done because I already from that I'm rested enough to just be like really infused. So I'm really hoping that this week off, when I come back, I'm going to be like, yes, rather than just that absolute exhaustion that I've been rocking pretty much for the year so far. So yeah, that'll be really nice. So your Bad Squiddo happening's been mostly like admin-y tasks and getting bits caught up and whatnot. But it's all very positive. Obviously Expo was oh yeah, I only did a stream on Tuesday, didn't I? So it's not even been that far away. Oh, look at Jez going up camping up the Danube near a castle. Enjoy. That sounds incredible. And we're all doing groovy, I think. So good to see you popping in. Cheers. Oh, you all living the dream. I'm very jealous. But also, I'll be living the dream next week on the hot day. Yes, the amount of LGBTQI plus people at Expo was ace. I've seen everyone doing their Pride posts now, and now I want to do my like. We celebrate Pride all year round, actually. So I do need to do that. Because I always do feel a bit weird. I feel for that, like I'm being a corporate person. Like, no, I'm not. Um, I'm gay all year round. Forge of Mars is here. Yes, we were talking about you. We were talking about you and Turkey Man butt following you around the room. I was laughing so hard. I was like, I wish that could be translated in the chat when I was in there last night. I was just putting the little laughing emojis. But we did properly break Forge of Mars there. It's a lovely Turkey Man. He sent me a bunch of photos. Turkey Man asked me to ask you if it's all right if he posts them as well. It's all right if he makes a post about it because he was just really happy with what you did with him. Obviously, if you don't want to, that's fine as well. Turkey Man does understand consent, which is it's the low bar, but the bar is quite low. So I am extra happy that Turkey Man does understand these sorts of things because he is also a murderer, and not cannibal because he doesn't eat other turkey people, but he's generally commits a lot of crimes, but he does understand consent, which is really nice of him. Other things. So yeah, so I was watching Forge of Mars paint last night, but I've been painting this weekend. So this weekend I'm supposed to be like this yours. Is that to you saying that to Turkey Man? Because he's not here right now, but I'll have to pass that information on to him. Let me just have a little sip of this coffee and then I'll show you what I've been painting. Yay! Nick says if Anna I don't know how to pronounce that. Anna Anatodophobia is the idea you've been observed by a duck, which I know from Larson. What do we have, Turkey Man? Oh yeah, what do you need? What do you need? So I'm supposed to be doing research this weekend to anatidophobia. Yes, thank you, Ravenheart. Supposed to be doing research this weekend and doing a bit more loose ends, which partly is doing a newsletter, which I was supposed to see before Expo, so I have to go back and change some of that. But I kind of just had the perfect day off yesterday. Turkenphobia. Turkenphobia. Um, so I really enjoyed my day off yesterday, which I'll tell you about. Um, so I do need to do some bits because the sculpting is happening for the Resistance project, which I'm so hyped up, which also reminds me of something else. Um, but I need to stay a little bit ahead of Alan because I haven't given him all the briefs. So there's still stuff I need to do. So I want to make sure he's got enough that there's no point next week where he asks me a question and then I can't reply because I'm away and then it gets halted. So I do need to do that. So that's an alive Andy upstairs. But also, because I'm in my Annie, chill out. You've got holiday next week and you really need the break. I had a break yesterday. I'm going to do a bit of work today. I might do a bit more painting. So anyway, yesterday, Friday night, I got an invite from Mr. Oliver Beetlestone and his partner Nina, whether we'd like to go to the garden centre. And I thought, you know what? I was going to be sat around researching. Oh, we'll go to that garden centre. So we went to the garden centre and we hung out, and it was really nice. And we had the really nice breakfast that they do there. Saw all of the cats. Then I got back, and then I watched some of The Tribe. I love The Tribe, not the TV, not the reality show, the early 2000s child's TV show, which had a random cameo by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement. It's like, whoa, pause that, hang on a moment, Google that in the bit. Oh wait, what have they got this random bit in there? What are you doing here, sons? Watched a bit of that, did some gardening, bought a load of fennel. I didn't actually spend much at the garden centre, which is very nice. Bought loads of fennel because I just want my entire garden to be fennel at one point. So I've got a lot of nice fennel. Did some gardening, hung out in the hammock, did a load of painting. It's like, this is what a standard day off should be. It shouldn't just be chores or doing work or just being in bed. Because the downside, and I was very good because I almost had a nap and that would have took the day out. A lot of the time when I'm just recouping, I just sleep and then it doesn't feel good, but doing stuff does. So anyway, everything I painted yesterday is by Mammoth Miniatures. I put on Instagram. I'm not in the pocket of Big Mammoth. I've paid for all this. I just think they're neat. So in terms of less finished to most finished, just as I was going to bed, I whacked some base colours on these little houses. So don't know what I'm going to do with them. I think they're going to be in the background, so they're far away. But they might also be used for some messing up with scale. So if you have Turkey Man, it could be he's a giant Turkey Man. So I've got these little houses. So just whack some colour on them and that. I started on their frog. Look at you. Look at you. I just sprayed it. It's the what I like. So they cast them in different colours. So this is cast in orange, and I've sprayed it cream, which is my favourite spray. Kind of see, but left some of the crevices showing. And then what's that lump on him? Can't see it there. Oh, it's the little indent. Then I've chucked a yellow glaze on it. And I haven't done any more because I like painting things like reptiles. I like looking at real ones and using the colours rather than making it up. So I only got as far as yellow, but I think you get the ones with black stripes and stuff on. So I need to look that out. Melagrossophobia. But then what's man? Because it'd have to be Turkey man rather than just the turkey. But then also the watching part. We can do this. I've also added, these are not finished, but the what is it? The guy that I've had almost finished from Mammoth for ages, but Expo and everything got in the way. I did a little bit more on him. I changed his base because I put him on I made a sort of plank base for him, but I didn't really like it, so I ripped him off that because I'm a monster. Just ripped him off it. Popped him on here. These are by Kira's Creations, these little grubs. So I've put those. That was a separate thing I was painting. I went, yeah, that can go on there. So that's been added on. Loads of thick paste just to add it up. And then if the feeling takes me today, I can finally finish this and I'll have another a guy. I love the screamy face on the back of it. Like, what is going on? What's up with that? So these are all by Mammoth Miniatures, and Kira's creations on there. So by the time I want to do some highlights, obviously, pretty much highlights, and finish off some of these. Just needs a little bit of wash around the little teethy bits, and tufts and all that. But that's cool. I've got the other guy. Hang on, show you away. Not that I've got loads of boxes propped up there. I was so rocking that. So this is the other one from the other of the ogres from Mammoth Miniatures, that I've completed. And I was doing a challenge to not do the shiny blood, but I'm kind of tempted. Oh, he's got a little one at base. So yeah, it's got the sort of up lights to do, but he's not. I may make him a lot lighter. We'll see. I do like the light because it reminds me a bit of the guy from Pan's Labyrinth. So I might do a bit of that. But yeah, then there'll be buds. There'll be his buds then. So they're getting there. Isn't that cool? So that's sort of what I'm going for there. There. And the other thing is I was mucking about with getting some blending and highlights and tidying up on this. He's getting there. I'm having a bit of a struggle here because on the actual creature, it's almost like a line, but when you do it as a line, it looks weird, but it's also not a slow transition. I think I've got it about right, to be fair, by the time I've put all the other details and things on. So it's based, I can't remember, is it not salamander, is it? It's a lizard that looks like that. So they're the colours. Spain, right? Oh no, Robert's going. So this fella is the worm, and it's just £20, and it's only 3 pieces, so it's a big chunk. The head, which I could have made a bit smoother, but I forgot by the time I started painting it. And and then the arm, which also I could have made a bit. I think both arms were separate. Yeah, both arms, and then the body was a big chunk. But yeah, I could have made smoother joins, but I never do. I was thinking about it last night when I was painting, going, it's definitely the good, not perfect. I think I'm glad that I had it as such a setback for a while where I was like, oh, I can't paint something unless it's like the ultimate show of all my painting skills. Now I'm like, just paint stuff. If it looks cool and it's done and you're done with it, it's cool. So this guy's getting there. I've started doing his spiny bits. And it's going to be darker towards the end because also I thought, like, my inclination was to do them sort of bony, and then I looked up horned frogs and stuff, and went, oh, they kind of go darker, so I'm going to make it so they go to black at the end. And I might do some little dapples and bits, and a few more subtle highlights because I was dry brushing in the dark last night because I was just going to go to bed and I went, oh, I'll just warm a bit. But I'm well chuffed for this. I'm glad that I stuck to my have a look at what lizards look like thing because I'd have just been tempted to make up something. But I like that he's coming along like a real guy. It's a real guy. So I painted all that yesterday, so I'm quite happy. When I went, oh, imagine the Pan's Labyrinth official license. How cool would that be? It'd be like £1 trillion, but I'd be like, hey, Del Toro, have you seen this turkey man? I'd be like, have the license for free, have it, and we'll swap. You can have the license if we can add Turkey Man to something. Be like, what? Yep, sure, I'll do that. But then later on, when he's made trillions of pounds from Turkey Man, I'd be like, damn you, Del Toro. That's probably what happened. Other things. This keyboard. So I own this keyboard in black. Now I own it in silver. What? Why? I was thinking about how I like just doing some type. I do like writing on a pen and paper. But sometimes when it's stuff that's then going to be translated into type, it's just another thing. I was thinking I need like just a little a little word processor, but not another laptop or anything. I was like, they've got to exist. You know, like how Kindle is for books. It's like so just a tiny little thing that just and it's got a USB and that's it. No, and there's two brands that like dominate to the market. They're like 500 quid, but it's just a shit. It's just a bad laptop, a very basic stripped. Like I don't want to pay that much. And then I thought if I get an old laptop, but then the battery will be really bad on them. And then I came to this genius idea, and I've tested it, and it works. Because I'm a stupid Office 365 subscriber. Because I fear change, I'd go for all the software that's expensive. um, so with the keyboard, hang on, and then the phone, you make your own micro word processor like that, and it's got the little thing on the back there. So if I need to just mostly just do some typing, like writing up some bits, look at that. And it's so light, it just fits in my bag. Because the alt things were all really heavy as well. It's terrible. Imagine carrying an actual typewriter around. So I'll let you know how I get on with this. So I'm going to take this with me in case the edge gets me, and then I'll be on like, oh, you can see a little side view of me there. What do you think? Do you think it's crazy? The reason I got it the silver because I have it's the exact same one as I use because I don't use the laptop keyboard because I always prop it like now it's propped up. I like my ergonomics. I got the same one so I wouldn't because you can get small ones that kind of clip on your phone, but I wanted it the same so that I don't have to retrain my fingers because it's the exact same one, so it'd be easier to type. And it was like £17 instead of £1 million. So I think I may have cracked it. And then obviously if I'm doing lots, you've got power bank and whatever that you can just plug that into. That's it. Um, so it's still I could just put it onto airplane mode. I've got loads of those apps as well. Loads. One of the apps which blocks you can set loads of blockers on it for other things. So that'd be fine. So yeah, just get a cheap keyboard. You can get foldy ones and stuff as well. And I nearly got a foldy one. But I got this because of the exact to my keyboard, so it's not going to be awkward at any point. But I'll just be able to rather than going, oh no, I've typed wrong. So yeah, top tip. Have a little more coffee. I won't do a long show today. What's Janina Ramirez, right? She's she's announced a new book, and some of you may have seen me in the chat there because I was going Legenda, and she's my hero. And she was saying about how it's so important to tell this stuff, tell these stories, and I was like, yes, this is just like me with the Resistance Project. So she's talking about it's nationalism and historical women. So her book, which is out later this year, is talking through different women whose kind of became a thing of legend and then used as national heroines, and what their real story is, and then talking about that in regards to nationalism. Yes. So I'm so excited about that. I was so hyped. So that was Friday. I spent a lot of Fridays going, yeah. And it's like it's someone doing a similar sort of thing. And I'm hyped for that. And then it makes me hyped for my stuff. So like, yeah, let's just it's like it's someone doing a similar sort of thing. And I'm hyped for that. And then it makes me hyped for my stuff. So like, yeah, let's just keep doing this. All of this. It'll be really cool. Yes, I don't know why I'm facing this way now. I'm facing that paint flamingo. The table is an absolute mess now. It's the kitchen table and it's just full of my mess. So I should probably tidy that before I go to. I've also been doing a bunch of chores so that the house is as clean as possible when I leave. So it's all that coming back to calm and coming back and going, yeah, I'm back in the world. So yeah. The news before I bugger off because I'm looking around the house, going anything else. So if you want to order out, do it by Tuesday. I think I'm going to put a free shipping thing in the newsletter. So if you want to wait, it'll probably be only UK free shipping though. So no, I don't. I might be able to do something. I might do a free shipping for overseas. I'll just have a higher tolerant. It's just so no, I can't. It's just so expensive. So expensive to ship overseas. Sorry, I won't. I might do a UK free shipping. Sorry. But you should buy stuff anyway, and then I can ship it on Monday or Tuesday, and then I can go away, and then I can be like, "Whoa, look at me with all my cash." Yes, and I'll just pay. I was going to say pay people to drive me around. That's basically just a taxi. But yeah, if you want something, you don't want to wait or all that. Cool. Anything else I need to let you know? I've still got community minis going on in the back of my head. I've been thinking about the feedback that people have given. Um, one seems to be that no one really cares about the cards, that they're nice, but no one really cares. And I care about them. So I think what I might do is just make them less exclusive. So make maybe 400 instead of 100, which then means I can put them through the retailers as well, because that was also a big issue that people wanted to be able to get the cards through retailers, so overseas, which totally makes sense. The only reason I didn't do that is because it were only 100 cards, so I didn't want it to be like a golden ticket situation. But at 400 will last a lot longer. So your librarian cares about the cards. Thank you. No one on the forum admitted to putting them in the bin, which is quite funny. I feel even though it's anonymous, people are like, maybe it's not. Maybe somehow she knows. I don't know, but thank you. And then I only got into this. Yes, only just got into the smuggling business. So today I'm going to be doing some research. Oh, I'll also end on this this perky note. I won't. It should probably be a trigger warning for suicide, but I will be very, very brief. It's not going to be fully in depth. But I've been reading this book. I don't know why it's while I've been smiling, because I'm in a really good mood. But I've also been in a good mood while reading this horrific book. It's very horrific. Um, but it's very interesting. And I've got quite a decent chunk for it yesterday. It's lightened up by having the Great Snail War on there, the real terrible war. But there's a lot of stuff I didn't know. And yeah, it's about the grim post-war. And it was one I saw in the so don't worry, I won't go into the full details. You can imagine it's pretty terrible. It was one I saw in Waterstones, and I thought, actually, this is kind of because what I'm doing with the Resistance Project is like teacher telling these stories, um, and comparing then to now and what we can learn from it. And the aftermath of is something that I don't know. Or I know the basics of, but there's a place called Demin, which was very great. Yeah, it's Demin, which is very grim, and just learning about various stuff of what happens after a sort of empire like that falls um, is really interesting, and how people react, because it's all different elements of people being very unhappy in Germany after the war. Um, and one of them is that realization that so some people was the realization that they'd been just taken for an absolute ride, and when the information about what the Nazis were actually doing had come out, it was this like it's a guilt, um, and all-consuming guilt, and I feel that's the sort of stuff that needs to be talked about as well in this, like as these things happening again, um, to just I don't know, to just get that information out, and it's an interesting read, and it's not directly connected to what I'm doing, but it also is in that like peripheral way. It doesn't mean to end it on a downer. Um, it is deeply affecting, as it says. But it was like me having my lovely day yesterday out on my hammock in my bliss, reading like horrific war crimes. I do have the Beaver on Berlin, which I don't think I'll take on holiday. Also, I got this book and I really wanted to read it, but I didn't want to read it on holiday because it's not quite holiday read. So I needed to get it out of my system. And then I'll probably read some cool women history stuff because that's all I read, to be fair. Um, so yeah, but very good book, recommend. Just happened to see it when I was in Waterstone. It's a little while ago. Nothing falling off the side. So lots is in the works. I've got some really cool secret collaborations at the moment as well. They're really good. I can't wait to tell you about them as well. And yeah, that whole Janina's new books really got me extra pumped for Women of Resistance. And again, loads of those stories are really traumatic, but it's the what people did and learning about what happened after as well is also so important. Um, and God, yeah, so that's a whole other thing. It's 30, I've been on 35 minutes, so we got released. Mm. Um, so I think that's it. So will there be a show next week? I'll be back. Yeah, there'll be a show next week, and it'll mostly be me telling you about my holiday. So it'll be a little one, but I'm going to some really interesting historical sites. So Brain. Well, yes, I've been reading about the with the Red Orchestra as well. The up coming up to the rise of the Nazis, and that's also extra harrowing because you're like, sounds familiar. And yeah, the more people that know this stuff. Tabletop Transformer says, enjoy your holiday. Not that, that was Jill, enjoy your holiday. Well, thank you. Have you done MCOM? No, was looking at going today, but only as a little like wander. And it's so this is me being terrible. I went, it's 18 quid. Mostly because I'm not that fussed. I saw that some of the artists that were at Expo are at MCon. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll have a little look. But because it was only like I only want to have a little look, I'm not desperate. I went £18. I'm the worst. Also, it means that I'd sell things. So I'd sell things, I'd buy things, and I don't have any money to buy stuff. So, but it's one I might have a look at next year just to go and have a look around. But it's all sorts of like pop culture things, isn't it? What we've got? Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go finish my coffee, have a look at the garden, see how my fennel settled in last night. If it's gone, thank you, Annie, we are fennel. Sort out drugging my guinea pigs as I do. And I will catch you next Sunday. And if you need anything from me, you got 2 days. And then I'll say sipping pina coladas on a beach. I will not be, but there may be a pina colada involved. So thank you all for being excellent, and I'll catch you around. Bye.